Welcome back to Healthy Bites. Today I am going to show you a typically Maharashtrian way of making idli, wherein they use a lot of dill and they also use jaggery. But in my recipe I am going to show you a sweet and savoury version of it, but I am going to be using brown rice instead of white rice to make this idli that much healthier. And also I am not going to let it ferment overnight, but show you an instant method of fermenting which then does not cause as much distress to our bodies. The ingredients are 2 cups of brown rice soaked overnight, dill, coconut, fruit salt, chili powder, jeera powder, dhania powder, jaggery, red pounded rice and buttermilk. So the idea of using brown rice or brown rice flakes is that there's a lot of husk that is removed when white rice is made, and all the nutrition in the rice then goes away and leaves us with only pure starch or carbohydrate, which is not healthy for us. So brown rice is the way to go, red rice is even better. So all I'm going to do in the first step is soak the brown rice flakes in the buttermilk and leave it aside for about 10 minutes. Now when I discovered that white rice is just starch and there's nothing to it, I instantly stopped using it and said we need to find a way to convert all our recipes using brown rice, using red rice, using millets. And when I look back into our history and I look back at what my great-grandmother and all ate, there was no sign of white rice. So all their recipes are so beautiful, so easy to make, so healthy. Just look back into your family's traditions and see what they have. So the next step is to grind up the rice along with the coconut. And you don't need one of those big mixies for it. All you need to do is put it into our normal mixer and then churn it until it is nice and smooth. So the rice and coconut has been nicely liquidized, and this is the kind of texture that you want. Now the reason dill is used in this dish is dill is an excellent source of protein, calcium, vitamins and even minerals like manganese and magnesium, which is needed for us in small amounts. And all that you need to do is just chop it up fine and put it in. And so the Maharashtrians like their food to be sweet, so they also add jaggery at this point. But what I'm going to do is make half of our batter savoury with jeera and dhania powder and the other half sweet. So just mix this in, and the next step is to liquidize the rice flakes and the buttermilk. Liquidize that, add it to this, and I'll show you what to do next. So this mixture now has the ground up soaked rice, coconut, rice brown flakes and curds, and of course the star of our dish, dill. And what we're going to do now is I've divided it into 2 to make it sweet and savoury. The sweet one is typically Maharashtrian, so you add a little bit of jaggery to it, stir it around, and then we'll put it in. Now the reason that I said initially that we're not going to ferment it overnight, whereas dosa batter is generally fermented overnight, is for the thing that when you ferment something, it takes the body longer to digest that food and therefore creates a lot more havoc to our digestive system. So instead what I'm going to be doing with this idli batter is I'm going to be putting fruit salt, and that will bubble instantly and give it that little lift, so you will still get soft fluffy idlis. So I've added a little bit of salt, jeera powder, dhania powder and a little bit of chili powder for the savoury one. Just mix it, and then whenever you're ready to steam, you can put this batter into the fridge for a couple of hours, not a problem. And then once you're ready to steam, just put the fruit salt over it. You can already see it bubble. Okay, mix. At this point you don't want to let it sit for too long. When I first came across this recipe, I was so happy with it because I love dill, but not everyone in my family does. But this was a great way to get them to eat it, and they enjoyed it. And I have a lot of friends who are in Scandinavia, and dill is used extensively for flavouring in Scandinavia. But the difference is that they use it over short time periods. Whenever you cook dill over a long period, the flavour actually goes away. You don't taste as much of it. So if you're going to cook it in something for about 20-25 minutes, you've lost the flavour in it completely. Instead, do something quick like this. This takes about 10 minutes to cook and it's ready. So once I'm spooned them in, I'm just going to put it into my idli steamer, keep them for about 10 minutes and they'll be done. So the idlis have been steaming for about 10 minutes. They're nice, fluffy and soft in the middle and have a crunchy top, which is just the way that I love them. And they've got a wonderful source of calcium in them, which is dill. So try it out, both the sweet and the savory way. See what your family likes, what your friends like. And hot steamy idlis are ready.